Wow, and good morning. Good morning, folks. It's coffee and vinyl time. I just got a notification that Record Crate is going live on YouTube. Yeah, and I want to make sure I join them. I got started late, folks. I think I had a text come in, and the text woke me up. Hey, good morning, Carson. Cheers, Carson. So the text woke me up, and I was like, man, I'm so glad I got a text. Because I was a sleepy boy. I got to open up YouTube, so I'm going to mute this for a second. The reason I muted is so that I don't get a loop or an echo. So now I got the YouTube open. I hit the pause, and I'm going to do a little pop out of the chat window so that I can mod the channel. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times I see comments on the YouTube before I see them on the StreamYard, and so therefore I can get a head start. So there we go, folks. Hey, hope everyone's doing well today. I'm feeling good. I just feel like I'm 2.5 hours behind on my day, and I'm heading to Selma. But I did want to do coffee and vinyl, even if it's just an abbreviated coffee and vinyl. Yeah. I have to go to Selma. Doing okay, Carson. I had a good day yesterday. Went to Wake Forest. We were open. And I had some customers. It was good. Donald came in. It's always a treat when Donald comes in. We can talk about records and talk about jazz. And perhaps one day Donald will join me on Coffee and Vinyl. I really hope so. How are you doing, Carson? Good morning, El Camino. Cheers. I really need this coffee this morning. Well, I really am enjoying this coffee this morning. It perked me up. I did pull some records, though. I went into the vault. Dun, dun. What is going on here? It must be everyone is. My buddy Chaz up at Bull City, he was posting about he added some more records to his website. He's not open, and I totally respect him. He's doing curbside and delivery, and I totally respect him. I totally respect him. Of course, Chaz has been doing wonderful for years and years and years with an online commerce presence, which I didn't have. And so it's almost like starting over. But yeah, if you guys ever in Durham, stop by and see Chaz. He's awesome. I remember shopping Chaz when he was in a building in Durham, and he was on the second floor. And so a lot of downtown buildings, or like the doctor's office would be on the second floor, or maybe an attorney, or maybe not a doctor. Anyway, there was a long, steep staircase leading up there, which was awesome. Good morning, Ron. Cheers to you. Saw Ron briefly yesterday. Boy, did I make a mistake. I packed the truck up. I took the truck to Wake Forest yesterday, and I left behind a box of CDs. And so I made a boo-boo. So I'm going to have to make that up to Ron. Of course, I'm looking forward to hanging out with Ron. And Ron, I hope you are able to join me one morning for coffee and vinyl. Just like starting over, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, they had a wonderful record. It was the last record they did together. Yeah. I adore Yoko. Let's see what I pull. Come back, yeah. This is a very desirable record. Guy Clark. Didn't we speak about Guy Clark or butcher his name or something one day? I can't recall. But it's called Old Number One, and it's such a desirable record. And uh, good morning, Stephen. Cheers. Good to see some 80s albums on your wall. So many people snub their nose at the 80s. Stephen, I had a hard. So there are some personal records behind me. It's some shelves behind me. I just put them at the face like a lot of people do. But I sell. When I say I sell, I always think about things as they were in October. I would sell tons of New Wave, and New Wave is just so hard to get, in good condition. And so, yeah. Excuse me, I love the New Wave, and I have a lot of customers that like it too. And it's good to hear bands, contemporary bands that have a big 80s influence. I like that a lot. Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Well, we'll talk about it when we see each other this weekend. It's either going to be Friday or Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We had some rain in Wake Forest, which was cool. Guy Clark. So this is a super desirable record, Old Number One. My buddy, my customer, Vinyl Champion Elliot, has been looking at this record for the longest time. And I told him I would give him this record. Track number one has a jump on it. And unfortunately, yeah, so I'm not that person who's going to take out a microscope and a stylus, a needle, a sewing needle, and try to repair it. But I was going to offer it to him in hopes that he will. Now, if I were to put this on eBay on an auction, notating that track number one had a jump in it, I bet it still would bring a lot of money. Super desirable record. If you guys ever see Guy Clark, be on the lookout. Guy Clark. Yeah. So I'm not one that's gravitated to Western music, but people who are, they know this and they love it. Yeah. Yeah, Stephen, I have that Talk record on the wall behind me. Can we see it? Yeah, right there. Right over the shoulder. Talk. It's a very desirable record. And I was able to find it. It walked in the door one day in Wake Forest, and I was like, and that was so cool. Let's see what else I pulled to show with us tonight. I just went in the vault and grabbed some this morning. I went in the vault and grabbed some stuff, and so yeah. I'm also interested in hearing what you want to talk about and what records you pulled for today's Coffee and Vinyl. This is a Holland press, and Holland might be my favorite country to get Pink Floyd records, and so I really like that. But this is a Pink Floyd. It's called Relics. In America, we had a different cover. We had the guy with four eyes, which was actually a bottle opener. Good morning, Tom. Cheers. Yeah, absolutely. So glad to hear you join us, and thank you for another wonderful Talk More Talk Monday night. Thank you so much. Good morning, Lisa C. Lisa C lives in paradise. So this is a carnival drawing, and bonus points. 100 bonus, 100 record crate bonus points if you guys know who did this drawing. Yeah, it's a good drawing. I like it. It's on the MFP label, which is a budget label. I'm so happy with it. I am so happy. Yeah. I don't know why, but sometimes I just like saving things, even if they're in poor condition. Even though it's super rare or somewhat less common to find. I'm going to find me a better copy one day. But this record right here is just so poor, it's unplayable. But it has Shrink on it, and it has an old price sticker on it. And so I'm gonna show you anyway what it is. I tried to put it out one time, for sale as just the cover only, and I left it there a little while, then I took it out. But anyway, this is Lenny and Squiggy, and this is their record. Oh, it does have a hype on it right here, a hype sticker. Yeah, but it's kind of neat. It's very cool. It is actually music, and we know that. I think his name is Michael, but he's not only an accomplished musician, but an actor who did other things. He was on Better Call Saul. I think he did a really good job there, and I'm sure he's on a lot of things. I just don't pay attention to actors and things like that. But one day I'm going to find me a better copy of this, and then I'll have it in Shrink with a hype sticker. Oh, Stylistics, I can dig them. I do enjoy the late '60s, early '70s soul and funk. So Stylistics definitely hops in there, and it moves on to that. Yeah. Oh, you remember that? Yeah. Lenny and Squeaky. Very cool. Yes, 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 yes. And yes, he did go on to be part of Spinal Tap, which was really cool. And I was like, wait a minute, that's Lenny from Laverne and Shirley. So it was really cool. Hey, congratulations, Carson. You won 100 Record Crate bonus points. Congratulations. Yay. Michael is also on Spinal Tap. The Mighty Wind. Is The Mighty Wind a movie, Stephen? I saw a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of movies, but I don't always pay very much attention to movies, even though I have, seems like a million DVDs. Yeah, which I'll take some more down to Selma. They seem to be selling there, and sold a few in Wake Forest yesterday. Yeah. Okay, God, Mighty Wind is a movie. Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out. I like the seriousness that Michael had with Better Call Saul. Even though his character, he played a very cautious attorney. Um, was Mighty Wind where they had found like a prodigy and they were trying to, I don't know. Anne showed me some movies. She said, you got to watch this. And so when Anne shows me movies, and worked with me prior to us shutting down. Boy, I miss Anne being around here. She is so good. Oh my stars. Oh, how I miss her. Um, yeah. So there you go. But he played a serious attorney that was very sensitive to electricity, and Saul kind of took advantage of him, and it's just a crazy story. I haven't even kept up with it. I'm not even sure if there's a episode or a season this year or not. But I will have to visit Mighty Wind online and see if it's the same movie that Ann showed me. But if it was, I didn't recognize Michael. So I like the Grateful Dead. I enjoy listening to live shows. I'm not so fond of the studio albums just because they were good songs, good recordings, but it's just not the same as listening to a live. So this is a live Dead record. It was released on the label, Warner Brothers release, and it's a good record. It's a good record. For me, folks, I can buy Grateful Dead all day long, or I can enjoy many hours of the Grateful Dead on archive.org, which is really cool. Archive.org. And I think I texted a few of my friends, but I found some on the West Coast, did you guys have a store called Kmart? Kmart. We had them all over the East Coast, and I learned that through the years that there was actually somebody in an office who actually would play records on a turntable, and this was the music that was broadcast for shoppers, um, and it's really cool. And they had records, and then they went into reel-to-reels, and they went to cassettes, and who knows what else I went to. But I found some Kmart background music in the archive, and it was awesome. The second song, it was psychedelic, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of cool." Yeah. So Carson has a question. I'll ask this for everybody else. What phono cartridges do you use? Well, Carson, I've been very fortunate that I can work on turntables and replace cartridges, replace styluses, and things of that nature. And but I've been very fortunate over the years, Carson, to buy pre-owned turntables or broken turntables, and sometimes I would buy it just to get the cartridge. And so I might buy a generic cartridge, with a stylus just to put on a turntable to sell it. And but I can tell you some of my favorite cartridges, Carson, and they're basically just vintage ADC. I like ADC a lot. I love Grado. Grado Black is good. Just the entry level is wonderful. But if you can go gold or red, or they're really cool. Never been a fan of Orderphone. Never been a fan of them. I think they sound good, but I just think that they. I like cartridges that have a little more warmth. And I could probably think of half dozen more, Carson, and I could go around and look at my different turntables and see what I have. I don't have a problem at all with Audio Technica, vintage Audio Technica. I think if you want to get an Audio Technica that sounds a little more warm, you have to spend $150, $200 to get a cartridge that sounds a little more warm. One of my favorite tables, not necessarily my best table, but one of my favorite tables is my Bang & Olufsen, and I have 4 Bang & Olufsens. One is just totally a basket case, but the one I have set up and I currently use is fine. I have one that works properly. It's just that the cover, the way they're made, they get kind of wonky and they can snap apart, and they're a pain to get back together, if indeed you can get it back together, because they were all about, they made wonderful stuff, but it was all from a design standpoint. Can we make this work based on of how we think it should look? And so I haven't studied their form and function, but Bang & Olufsen has beautiful stuff. And then I have one, in other words, to replace the stylus. Just the stylus on a Bang & Olufsen is about $400. And so I have 2 machines, broken machines I purchased just to have the stylus. So I'm hoping it'll take me through the rest of my life. Of course, if my life ends this year with coronavirus, the stylus I have on the table now will take me there. Yeah, so there we go. So when you're out junking and looking and stuff like that, who cares? I'm sorry, it jumped. Who cares if we're if you're looking for a turntable that works good or whatever? I'm always looking for parts and things like that. Steven says Kmart was hugely popular until Target and Walmart. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to think of 80s movies that had Kmart in it. I'm not sure if I did. Kmart blue light specials. I remember those. I think I only remember being at Kmart one time and there is a blue light special, and I was just like, and there was actually, Lisa, you may remember this. There was actually a little cart on wheels, and it was like a cube, and then it had a pole coming out of the center of it, and on top of the pole was actually a blue light, and it rotated. Oh, it was wonderful. I'm sure there's a video online that shows that. But I remember walking over there and just looking at it, and the blue light special, blah blah blah, and the intercom, and then they unplugged it and they went to another area, and I just kind of like followed them and see where they are, and I was like, hmm. And I just kind of hung around in the background. That attention shoppers, we're having another blue light special, and they turned the. It was awesome. It was awesome. Thanks, Felicia, for sharing that memory. Uh, the new Audio Technica. They are a bit bright, and that's what I was saying, Carson. Finding one that's warm. Yeah. In my record store, I saw Megan Olufsen, a fantastic $190. You know, Carson, wonderful. That's it's pricey considering if if you pop the stylus or the stylus just fails or the cantilever gets bent or cantilever just fails, you know that there's a $400 fix awaiting you. So it becomes a $600 table. So I love it. I love it. What can I say? I'm very fortunate that I've been able to pick them up because they've been broken, and but still check the cart. Yes, yes, yes. The cart with a light on it. Oh gosh. And I only remember seeing that once, but I remember people in school would just, you know how kids are. Did you get that at the blue light special? Is that a blue light special shirt you're wearing? Just fun stuff like that. And even though they could be wearing a Lacoste or something like that. Yeah. The stylus looks great, but you never know. It's not so much with the. You're right, Carson. You're exactly right. And the stylus, you never know with old tables. If you were actually going to read the recommended, so if you were to find some vintage literature and they say, we recommend that you switch out your stylus or you replace your stylus or your needle every X number of hours of play, we would definitely not be able to afford to enjoy records. This is a record I enjoy so much. When Alice Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders got together and they made this record, it was just wonderful. It's amazing. When I listen to other Alice Coltrane's and when I listen to other Pharoah Sanders, it's just the sun and the moon aligned up so well with this record. So if you guys ever see this record out and about, or if you go online and want to listen to it, it's a good listen to. But anyway, I like it a lot. So on Impulse, this is one that came in, and this is probably I probably upgraded. So this was probably my second upgrade, and so it's got some ring wear, but I don't care. It still plays great. Sounds great, folks. There's a difference between a record playing and a record sounding great. A record can play all the way through, start to finish, both sides, no jumps, no repeats. But how does it sound? How does it sound? You can drive your car down the road, and if it's misaligned, it's going to pull over this way, and you're like, trying to keep it in the center of the road. But how does a record sound? We enjoy records because of the warmth, and we enjoy records because of there's many things, but it's all about the sound, folks. To me, anyway. The stylists look great, but you never. That's right. There. See what else I pulled to show. This is Alice Cooper. Welcome to my nightmare. There was the Alice Cooper group, the Alice Cooper band. They got started. Frank Zappa helped them out a lot, and they played some good rock and roll, and they became amazingly big and wonderful. Schools Out, $1 Million Babies, and all these wonderful records, and Muscle of Love, and they were just playing it, and they were living the life, and arenas, coliseums. They were just good. It's just like listening to Kiss's first record. You can songs that you like, you can sing along to. That's just so good. And then for whatever reason, Vincent Ferdinand just took on the name Alice Cooper, and he became the name of the band. And he released a new record without the rest of the band, and it's a big turning point for the people who liked Alice Cooper. And this record completely sounds different than the Alice Cooper band, which I totally recognize and understand. But I enjoy this record. It is so good. It's much more mellow. It's more like soft hard rock. Does that genre exist? Did I create a new genre? But anyway, this one is on a special label, and I should have done my research, but that's what the label looks like, folks. So if you ever find this record, you can always check for the label. Even if you already own this record, you can check for the label. So when this one came in one day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep this one. But, it's just like listening to the first Morrissey record. It was different than the Smiths, but it was really good. And so this is different than the Alice Cooper band, but it's really good. So I thought I would share that with you. It's a concept album, and there was I don't know if it was made for television or it's just an extended video or it was a movie, but there was a movie that went along with this. And Vincent Price did some narration and cool things like that. Yeah. Some records look great, but have bad distortion and sound terrible. I spoke yesterday a little bit about sibilance, Carson, with a record that's not flat. And so you start getting the inner groove distortion, and that mostly comes from sibilance. Yeah. Probably chewed up from being played over and over on a cheap turntable. It could be that. It could be a proper turntable that's not properly aligned. It could be a proper turntable that has a stylus that should have been replaced many hours ago. It could be a lot of things, Carson. I've seen Capitol records that look like they've been ran over by a Nissan Sentra that sound amazing. Thinking, oh my gosh, this needs to go in the dollar bin. And I said, well, just for fun, I'm going to play it. And so I learned then, whenever I get a Capitol record that is super desirable, that has a look, and I will easily identify it on the jacket with a sticker that looks horrible, sounds incredible. Ask me, and I'll play it for you. Soft and hard rock. There you go. Let's see what else I pulled, folks. Stephen mentioned 80s, and one lady that I enjoy a lot is Joan Armatrading, and she had a somewhat popular song, "Drop the Pilot." I'm sure it was more popular in the UK, in Europe, but it probably got played on a lot of the ARR stations in America. "Drop the Pilot," which was a really good song, and it's fun to go and watch Joan Armatrading on YouTube and step into a different period of time where she was really popular with these albums that came out in the 80s. I kind of like her new wave stuff a little more than her folky stuff, but her folky stuff is very good too. But I love it. When You Call Me Names, it's about an abusive relationship, and that's a really good song also. But anyway, so this is a white label promo. Oh, look what's on the other side. I love it when you call me names, big woman and a short man. Most likely this was sent to a radio station or sent to the press or sent to a television station or sent to another record industry executive so they could brag about my new artist. Check this out. And so it's really neat. Yeah, I like Joan. Do I need this 12-inch single? No. Is it any different than the record? Probably not. Could be a slight different mix or EQ or master. It's definitely. And so, do I have it? Yes. So, well, I keep it for a little while, but probably not very long. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Coffee and vinyl. But I tell you, Carson, I love my Bang & Olufsen. Stephen mentioned Stylistics. This is a wonderful record, folks. This is the Foundations. Interesting cover. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with the Stylist. Maybe same time period, but anyway, this is more pop. Why don't you build me up, Buttercup, just to let me down? Yeah, it's on the Uni label, which I love this, especially when it's spinning. It's so cool. Yeah, Elton John, No Diamond, you see a lot on the Uni, which is really cool. Yeah. Let's see. Didn't pull very much, folks, because I knew I probably had to get rolling. I got to had some eBay sales overnight. I tell you, a lot of sales come in on eBay in the evenings and overnight, and which is awesome. And overnight, okay, everybody in California is buying. No, people on the East Coast are buying like at 2 and 3 in the morning. So I'm learning they're happy. I'm learning their habits. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I can walk under ladders. Sorry, wrong one. I can. I'm lucky is my favorite John Armour Trading song. I think Thomas Dolby plays keyboards on it. Yeah, I think you're right. I remember reading that. You know, I used to sometimes, if I would go to chat room or something, I would be like, I can walk under ladders. That would be me. But the keyboards on there is amazing. Yes. I'm not a cheerleader for John Anderson. There's been a couple songs that his voice kind of grabbed me, but okay, he's on the Trevor Rabin, yes, okay, but his voice is so processed, it's a little different than the 60s and early 70s, yes, yeah, okay, yeah. You know, when I held the record up, that's what I thought. Then I was like, why don't? And then I was thinking, well, that's a male voice, and it's not as high. But anyway, Stylistics, wonderful group, and I love the Foundations too. Check them out on YouTube if you haven't, folks. Just want people to learn about music. Yeah, absolutely. This is interesting, folks. It's actually come out of Greensboro, North Carolina, which is up the street, but it's Ultimate 50 Special Edition. If you were a DJ, you subscribe to these services, and they would send you out whatever each month for your subscription. You could go and buy some back catalog stuff. And I don't think I've ever talked to anyone who was a DJ that subscribed to Ultimate 50 or whatever the DJ subscription company was at the time. And they would essentially, somebody would do some remixes and dance mixes of contemporary songs that would be good for a club to be played. And this particular one has I Love Rock and Roll, which was Joan Jett, and the Black Box Medley. Now, I don't remember what the Black Box Medley is, but they're neat to listen to. You throw it on there, and they do this and that, and I Love Rock and Roll, and remixes, extended mixes. You know the story. But for whatever reason, and some people say that these are totally unauthorized, and they were printed in the overnights when someone had a key to the pressing plants, and they would go in there and they would turn on the presses, and they would do things at nighttime, and maybe the owner of the press just kind of turned their head on it and like, don't tell me anything, and I don't know anything. But here we go. It's a beautiful record. So when I see these, I try to pick them up. Anne loves making clocks and doing art with color vinyl. So that's another thing. I try to pick them up for Anne. So the Joan I Love Rock and Roll, the medley, Joan Jett. It's 8 minutes 47. The introduction is 32 seconds. The first break is 32 seconds. The second break is it says 32, but I don't think that's seconds. It means, and then it says the end is cold. Yeah. So it's been a while since I listened to this. As much as she was rock and roll, it was just kind of neat. It says the Black Box medley, the Black Box, 8 minutes 46 seconds. Yeah. So, should I have listened to it before I started the show? A good show host would, but I didn't. So there we go, folks. Ultimate Mix, Ultimate 50. If you see them, check them out. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any hologram etched? Do I have any hologram etched records? So there was Star Wars, Jack White. Those two come to mind, Carson. Who else am I missing? So there was a Star Wars where you spin it and you threw the light on it and a hologram appeared above the label. And Jack White had something. Did Jack White have an angel? I can't recall. What about you, Carson? Do you have one also? 2112 has a hologram? Wow, that I didn't know. 2112 is a hologram, Carson. Is that correct? Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm gonna show a couple more folks, and then of course, Carson, please chime in with your hologram. Something you see in the dollar bin, aerobic dancing. 1, 2, 3. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Look how this thing is reflecting the light on my face. Isn't that awesome? A lot of these records are contemporary songs where they may narrate on the top of it or the dance, if you would. Grab your partner, do swing her left, and ooh, that kind of stuff. The 2015 repress of has a hologram. Oh, that's awesome, Carson. I didn't know that. Wow. I probably sold some of those. I think they were the Half Speed Masters, right, Carson? Yeah. I don't recall a hype sticker, so they may not have had a hype, which is really cool. But anyway, folks, these aerobic Appetite for Destruction 2000. I've had that record before. I brought it in before. Never knew that. Like I said, Jack White and Star Wars. Star Wars comes to mind, and it's kind of scary to look at them. But yeah, we had to do it. So neat. I had an old Empire table set up at one time, and I threw the Jack White on there and did a little video. I used that table to demo that record because Empire would play 78. I didn't have the proper Empire 78. I didn't have the proper stylus for 78, but I did play the 78. But it was neat to see such an old turntable from the 50s play a record that was so new, and it was really neat. Sure, I did a video. I'm sure somewhere on one of my devices, the video lives. Yeah, that's really neat. I'm horrible with um, archiving images and videos over the years. Yeah. So there's some aerobic dances that have some really good songs on them. Some of them are really cheesy. I'm sure they had to be licensed. But there's one that has Devo that a lot of the Devo people like to get, and it's just really cool. But standing slow stretches, floor stretches, slow floor stretches, fast, and um, some more disco based and more dance based, and some were more contemporary, upbeat rock and roll, or contemporary songs. But if you ever see them, folks, they're in the dollar bin. They certainly are worth a listen. I mean, for $1, there you go. Yeah, so they're really neat, and I should make notes with every record that I have in my listening library so I can refer to it later, which would have been great for today, but maybe I should put me a little card in there, a little pocket. I do make notes on a lot of my records, and the next one I'm going to show demonstrates that. Let's see what Carson says. Cheers, everyone. Folks, I had a couple more subscribers, so I'm looking forward to do my 25th anniversary, 500 sub contest giveaway. So I'm looking forward to that. I have so many ideas in mind that I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose. And some of the ideas I've gotten from the cats here. Carson says to fill up the fourth side because they wanted to expand it with less compression. It wasn't enough to fill up. Carson, let's step back a little bit. I want to make sure I understand exactly what you're talking about. Let me find Carson's question. Do you have any hologram etched records? Okay. So let's think about the Jack White record. You put it on the turntable, you play it, you shine on a flashlight or a light source. It could even be your iPhone light. And then there's a holophone that stands up above the label. And as the turntable spins, we have a hologram. Is that what you're referring to? Or are you referring to where the actual vinyl has a etching on it? For instance, Styx, Paradise Theater, and one of the Superman soundtracks. Starflyer 59 has one side where someone may have etched an image or something on it, on the plate. Things like that. I want to make sure I'm communicating correctly with you, Carson. Yeah. How cheesy. Double layer or triple layer cheesy? And probably quadruple. There you go. Hey, good morning. Gil, how are you? Cheers. My day is well, sir. I'm late start. It's going to be a later day, and I'm going to go down to Selma, which is about a 35, 40-minute drive, folks, which is fun. I'll listen to a podcast there and back. Yeah. I just hope I don't get into the afternoon traffic coming into Raleigh. Yeah. I trust you're doing well, sir. Yeah. Thanks for joining. Hey, may I ask you what time it is for you? What time do you have? What's your time? I'm thinking you're probably the same time as me, or maybe an hour or two earlier. Yeah. Or you might be on the same time as Stephen and Tom. Yeah. One more record I want to show for you cats. Carson, I'm waiting to hear back from you about, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, you're actually you're 1 hour ahead of me. Oh, absolutely. So how's it going to be in the next hour? So Carson says it's the etching on the record. Okay, I understand exactly what you're talking about. So I probably have a Superman, and I probably have a um, Paradise Theater. I know on the floor I have a Starflyer 59, and I think those cats are close to where Tom is. I mean, not Tom, but Steven. I got into Starflyer 59 because there was an electronic group that I used to listen to that one of the members became Starflyer 59. And the reason I got into Starflyer 59 was just ambient noise pop, cats that and eventually I was able to interview the guy, Jason, from Starflyer, and I asked him, my first question was, what's your favorite My Bloody Valentine record? And he told me, and everything else just came together. And yeah, so that was awesome. Carson, you're ahead of me? Well, thanks for getting up so early, Carson. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. So, uh, you know, I guess in the 80s, we saw a lot of records that was one sided. And then there was this suggestion going around, oh, that's the best way to set up your anti skate on a table is to find a record that doesn't have grooves on it. And so, but yeah, I've seen lots of crazy things on records, Carson. I wish I could save everything. Yeah, absolutely. I was hoping Stephen Batten was going to stop by today. he's doing an auction tonight on his channel with country records. So I'm looking forward to that. That's another reason I got to get out of here and get back. Hey, good morning, cousin Carol. How are you? And Carol's doing an auction tomorrow night on her channel. Happy July, everybody. Hi. I gotta sneeze. Sorry. I don't have any tissues in the office. Oh boy. Looks like Tom has a new name here. There you go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Good morning, everybody. So cheers, Carol. Carol's also doing a contest. So yeah, Carol, you're welcome to put a link to your video in the chat for your thank you, Carson. Thank you. Carol, you're welcome to put a link to your video contest in the chat. Sure, Stephen, you're exactly right, but I just don't want to go, while I'm live with everybody on the camera. Yeah, but they do. I've been in situations where I pulled off a sock before. Okay. Like I said earlier, I sometimes will notate some wonderful things about records, so I can easily refer to them and say, you know what, I already got that pressed, and all I have to do is just compare the condition of vinyl and see if I no tissue, Adam. Look at you. Oh, you're at work. Okay, wonderful. Well, have fun at work today. And so then all I have to do is just compare the condition and just decide which one to keep. So yeah, there you go. Smoke gets in your eyes. Count to 5, everybody. 5. And so snot's on your shirt. Yeah. Snot's on your shirt. You better believe it. Sometimes it feels good to sneeze. I'm sure there's a scientific reason that it happens. For someone living in North Carolina, it usually has something to do with allergies. and been around Dusty Records. Yeah. So I'm going to show you a very special record. I think it's probably the best sounding domestic release. I have a Japanese pressing. I have a Holland pressing. I have a UK pressing with a special triangle on it, folks. And I have probably a German pressing of this record. It's a record that I can't listen to very much at all. I have to save it for a special time. And sometimes I have one come back on a buyback. I have to listen to it before I price it. And I just learn how to skip around and figure out the little sweet spots to listen to before I can price it. And oh, thanks for sharing that link to Carol's channel, folks. I don't know if you can copy and paste or not. Let's see. Yeah, but hopefully you guys can. Yeah, there you go. Do I have any glow? I've seen those before. I bought a limited edition by a movie. Oh, Ghostbusters, and it's so cool if you put that record in the light. Sounds good. Yeah. Sometimes I get stuff like that. I rarely have anything that I can open up, and sometimes customers come back and show me their stuff. But yeah, they're really neat to see. That's for sure. So Carson, how does he do that? Oh, he'll explain. Okay, so here it is, folks. This is the Pink Floyd. This is a Wally pressing, Wally mastering. This is an inner pack packaging, and it has 2 posters and 2 stickers. And of course, yeah. Now, with that said, I have the same pressing with shrink on it. And I had to get out my little mirror just to see what was on the, just to verify that it was an inner pack. So, folks, if you ever see the Wally pressing of this record, it's a really good listen. And I'm going to show you the label quickly. And I've seen the Wally on the purple label too. Yeah, but this has the, it says Harvest, but is it Harvest? I don't know. But that's a really good pressing. Yeah. Yeah, Carol's having an auction tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Sometimes you can just, that was a question. People love records, and I love answering questions for them. And the quicker you can respond, the better off you are. The smoke is in your eyes. Smoke it's in your eyes. Oh. He was thanking me for replying to a message earlier. Isn't light a wonderful thing? So yeah, so Carson, sometimes you actually can go to the actual YouTube video, and then below the image, below the video, there's a little thing that says share, and you can just click and copy that, and you're able to share that. It's easier to share a video than it is a channel. But if you share a video, you can click on the channel there, and then you can go to the channel. So that's another good resource. Yes, Carol, that was an eBay. Thank God for eBay, folks. eBay is what's keeping me above water now. And yeah, yes, there we go. And so, oh, I was going to ask, yeah, would you like to join me as a guest one morning? I would be honored to have you. I'll be honored to have Steve, and of course Carson, who never answers me. Carson, I would love to have you. And there's this one guy who would like to watch my videos, but there you go. Carol, what is this? The the DXV sounds like a new keyboard that Yamaha's going to make next year. SUDEKTL4. Yeah. So there you go, folks. Yeah. So anyway, it's been almost an hour, but I think I'm going to sneak away, folks, and take off. On a side note, does anybody have a VCR? If you have a VCR, I put a number 1 in the comment. Had a guy bring some videotapes in, and I did a buyback, and one of the tapes was the Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. No, it wasn't The Dark Side of the Moon. It was The Wall. The Wall. So that's neat to have, and made some progress yesterday with the Beatles room in Wake Forest, and as soon as I get it mostly emptied, I'm going to start taking images and document the progress as I build that room. Carson, I might want to. Sure, Adam. There's an answer. There's an answer. Yes, absolutely. Carson says 1. Ron's on the Facebook side of things. Thank you, Ron. So Ron has a VHS. Yeah, and one of my customers lives in Goldsboro, which is like an hour, 10 minutes from here, or maybe an hour. It's about 30 minutes east of Selma. And he's in the process of opening up a store called, I forgot what they're called, Gold City. I think it's called Gold City Video or something like that, where he wants to have a video store that's kind of based on the VHS era, when you went to the video store to rent videotapes. And anyway, he still has posted incredible things on Instagram, and he posts some incredible titles. And I'm like, why do you find this stuff? And so, but he says that he hopes to open up a shop, and hopefully soon, folks, we can say, do you remember the pandemic? And he can carry on. Yes. And then yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Yes. Good morning. It's called moderating someone, and it's a privilege, Carson. So feel honored. It helps people who have channels to have people to moderate, especially during live chats, or if you happen to notice somebody leaves a bad comment and I'm not, and you catch it before I do, you can delete that comment so that the whole world doesn't see something that's ignorant or stupid or spamming or abusive. That's what it is, Carson. You can do a little internet search on YouTube mods. But anyway, with that said, folks, I'm going to take off. Yeah, and get some things done. First chore of the day, found another shirt to put on. Second chore is to pack up some orders and get those ready for the post office. And thank you, Carson. That means a lot. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Orders, and then I have to pack the truck so that I can go down to Selma. So it'll probably be noon or 1 before I take off. Thank you so much, Stephen. Hope you have a great day too. Hope everybody has a great day and cool things like that. So tonight, Stephen Batten's got an auction. I'm gonna try to find out what time he's doing it, and I want to go in after him with an auction, but I don't want to. I want to bid at his auction. I want to see what cool records he's got. I might find something in there that I really need for myself. Plus, I want to support him. He's been a great supporter of our channel. And then tomorrow night, Carol has an auction. And then I'm gonna have to do something Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I really want to do a 7-inch picture sleeve auction because I keep finding stuff. Anyway, it is an honor, Carson, and with honor comes great responsibilities. Yeah. Have a great day, Ron. Have a great day, everybody. Chat later, bro. Bye, and all that cool stuff. Hey, thanks so much, folks. I really appreciate it. I enjoy these coffees and vinyl. It helps me get focused. So tomorrow, and I'm always looking for you to be my guest. Come hang out with me and let's talk about vinyl. Okay, hey? All right. Rock and roll, everybody. See you soon. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you next time.